In the movies, you can have scenes that are heartbreaking, heroic, and yes, iconic, but sometimes you have scenes that just make you cringe, maybe because it's look through your fingers horrific or just plain sucks, so much that it leaves you with that icky feeling. We are here to count down our top 10 cringiest scenes, but first, here are 10 cringy facts. If my voice will hold out, excuse me. Okay, Jennifer
You want me to close
Lopez.
the blind?
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
We're in the middle of this episode. There's the promo for the episode anyway. Number one, Jennifer Lopez was paid $12 million for her role, and Ben Affleck was paid $12.5 million for Gigli. Their combined salaries are more than 3 times the film's worldwide gross of $7,266,000. Barry Pepper said that had he known he was going to win the world's worst supporting actor at the Razzies for Battlefield Earth, he would have shown up to accept the award in person. Although a box office failure, The Wicker Man was gained cult following due to Nicolas Cage's acting, which people said was unintentionally funny.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast!
After Spider-Man 3, Sam Raimi was deeply unhappy with how the film turned out. He had hoped that the planned fourth film would have made up for it.
Your shots are so good.
I'd love to shoot you sometime.
Number 5, while doing a Jupiter Ascending Q&A with fans on Reddit, one asked Channing Tatum what the movie was about. He responded, "Good question. I have the same one myself."
I create life!
Following a test screening of Howard the Duck, Universal executives Sid Sheinberg and Frank Price were allegedly arguing about who was to blame for greenlighting the film, which then ended in a fistfight.
I'll sneak up on him, and then I'll blast him.
Extensive reshoots of Justice League in London and Los Angeles in mid-2017 added a cost of approximately $25 million to the film's budget. Henry Cavill worked on the reshoots and Mission Impossible Fallout at the same time. He had to sport a moustache for the role in the latter project. However, Paramount refused to let the actor shave it off to play Superman in the reshoots. This meant that Henry Cavill's facial hair had to be digitally removed in post-production. However, due to tight schedules, the results were crude and were among many of the criticisms of the theatrical version of the film. Ain't that the truth?
I'll sneak up
Wrong one. That one. It's good. I feel we're doing good work. I still feel we're doing good work. In The Master of Disguise, producers had to pay Madonna $17,000 just for Dana Carvey to say the words, "Papa, don't preach."
Exactly. But am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
Number 9, a rough cut of the trailer for Catwoman was put online a few months before the film's release and drew such heavy criticism that it was quickly pulled. It was soon replaced with a new trailer which didn't feature any dialogue.
Looking for something?
And for The Room, according to Greg Sestero, Tommy Wiseau submitted the film to Paramount Pictures, hoping to get them on board as distributor. Usually, it takes about 2 weeks to get a reply from such a studio. This movie, however, was rejected within 24 hours.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
Oh, goodness me. We really made a ball ache of that, didn't we? But there we are. We are here to try and work out our top 10 movie scenes that make you cringe, and to thank for this wonderful subject, which has been a pain in my ass for the last couple of weeks. It's Top Head Anna. It's so lovely to see you again, Anna.
Same. Good to be here.
Right then. When you first
Who
said
had this idea?
when
Who
you
had this
first-
idea?
You had this idea, right? And when you first had this idea, I looked at it and I thought, actually, that's going to be really interesting because that's something really different. And my God, I know for a fact, I've got my 10, but I know for a fact that there will be some that you may say, or that people, when they've listened to this, will email us and say, oh, what about this one? That I know I'm leaving so much sort of on the table, if that makes sense. So, why did you think about this subject, and did you find it hard doing your top 10?
Extremely hard once I got the 5 down. And then it was like, oh, just those 5 ones that always piss me off every time. And then others I was like, well, maybe I just don't like this person. And yeah, it was not an easy task. And then I started thinking, well, what about songs that have cringy lines? Because I have issues with songs too. And yeah, it wasn't my greatest thought. So
So you found it hard as well, then that's good. I feel a little
yes.
bit better with that. Now, I
Yeah.
will, for full disclosure, I've not got just ones that I think are like crappy bits of movies. I've also got ones that lean into the like not well, maybe gross, that make you go ooh, a little bit like that as a cringe, as opposed to, oh my god, that is so shit and lame. So I don't know whether you've gone down that route as well.
I kind of same, maybe a little different. So lines or like scenarios that we'll get to it in the scenarios, but and then unfortunately there's like two people that I'm just like, oh, I don't want to watch that. No, actually, just one person. I don't want to watch that movie. I left the other one off because she an old lady. So
Okay. Oh, bless.
trying to be
Oh,
respectful.
yeah. So before we do anything else, let's do this.
Lisa's challenge.
Yeah. Okay. There is definitely something wrong with my box here. Oh, I'll ding that. Because that should
Everyone,
be.
he said that, not me.
Yeah, that should be a lot louder than that is, and it normally is that loud. So anyway, I don't know what's wrong with that. So with Elisa's challenge, how many do you think we're going to get the same? How many duplicates do you think we're going to have?
I don't think any, but just based on our musical tastes and how vastly different we were, I I don't think we'll have any crossover.
So you think that our movie tastes are going to be really different as well?
Yeah. I mean, aside from loving Star Wars, and
Okay.
I don't have any Star Wars in my list, just, I wasn't going to insult you.
Okay.
So
No, that's fine. I've got a Star Wars one in my list. Don't worry. I could have more than one, but I've only got one. Okay, then. So
we'll
you're
just
going
do
to go.
Star Wars next time.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe. I'm going to go one then. I mean, I don't know which one. I'm the same as you, but I don't want to do the same answer as you because let's make it a bit different. But okay, let's see then. Let's see where we are in regards to your 10 movie scenes that make you cringe. Hit us with your number 10.
So number 10, and this is more of a scenario, but I can name one movie that has a scene in it. It's when guys are like starting to squabble and get into a fight and they're like squaring off, and then the other guy, all his buddies come and he's the one who was talking shit, but all his buddies are like, no, it's not worth it. It's not, and holding the guy back. Like Billy Badass was gonna really fucking do something. No. So the theme or the movie that I would put that to is when Tommy tried to beat up uh, Randy, Nick Cage in Valley Girl, and they're at a party and he like, his friends all pull him back. And I'm like, just get outside and take care of business like men.
See, the thing I've always said when it comes to things like, I mean, I've never, like, I'm 55 years old. I've never been in a fight. Okay. I've never been hit and I've never had the pleasure of hitting somebody else. So in my mind, a fight is like it is in the movies. Do you know what I mean? It's like trading punches and the sound goes pew, and you go pew, and even if you get hit smack in the jaw, you're fine and you just keep fighting until there's a little trickle of blood in the corner of your mouth. Now, I'm pretty sure that that's not how fights actually go in real life.
I have a sister that's 3 years older than me and a brother that's 13 months older than me. I've been in more fights than I'd like to say.
Really?
And yeah, I was even at a party one time and our mutual friend, Medusa Vamp, Rochelle, she was there and I fought a dude.
You fought a dude.
I fought a dude. I landed one punch and then my friends took care of him, but
So again, okay then. So then the question in that is in regards to the rules of of a lady fighting a dude. Surely the dude can't hit you back.
he called me a slut. So
Wow. Where is he? I'll break my duck. How dare he call you that? But I mean, I know that there are men that will hit women. That's obvious. But I can't conceive of that kind of thing. That even doesn't matter how angry you are, or how much drink you've had if you're in you're in a public place where a lot of sort of those kind of fights
Well,
that you're.
I'm not proud of it myself, but on the other hand, he was an idiot and he got what was coming to him. And it
Yeah.
was
See.
because I wouldn't go out with him.
Oh well, there you go.
I was like,
See.
that doesn't make sense.
No, because then like, why would he call you that after that?
He's an idiot.
Okay, so bros holding back for a fight. That's a pretty good one actually, because I think some of these are going to be actual like just tropes from movies as well, aren't they? They're like not specifically for movies. You'll find them in a lot of different movies and that kind of thing. It's normally
she's not worth it. She's not worth it. And, holding the guy back, like whatever, bro.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, I'm going for one of those icky kind of cringy moments at the moment. Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, and it's Mr. Creosote, if you remember that. It's the big guy coming into the restaurant, and even the fish try and hide because he basically will eat everything that he can. And I think it then cuts to the fact that he's just sat there with all of this congealed food coming out of his mouth, and he's eating everything. And then I think it's John Cleese, who's the waiter, says, "Would you like anything else?" "Oh, no, I can't eat another fucking thing," he says. "What about a whapper thin mint?" And he just pops the mint, and then all of a sudden he explodes. And he's sat there, and you can see his rib cage with his heart. And it is just disgusting. He's being sick before that. And any time you see any kind of sick is enough to make you cringe anyway. It's such a great scene, but it is Monty Python at his absolute sort of most vulgar and disgusting, and it's
Awesome.
It is horrible. It really is. But then Patreon top heads, I'll put it in the video playlist that you can watch at your leisure. I don't mind you watching it. You can see just how disgusting it is. Are you a Monty Python fan, Anna?
I like watching it. I don't have the best recall of memory to, but I know Monty Python and Benny Hill. Yeah, when I was a kid.
Hill, see. I'm amazed with how Benny Hill seems so like favored by Americans. They absolutely love Benny Hill. It's just
I don't. It's just stupid, slapstick, naughty. When you're 10 and your TV's left on in the bedroom, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
I'm not supposed to see that.
No, absolutely. Oh my God, that's so good. Okay, your number 9 then, please.
My number 9 is from a movie, When Harry Met Sally, the orgasm scene.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
I'm God bless her. It was fantastic. She looked wonderful. I just have a hard time watching that scene every time. No? I don't know if it's jealousy or what, but I just like.
But is it also, I mean, like, would you have watched that movie in front of your parents or something like that?
Probably not. They probably wouldn't have liked it, but not that scene, but the movie as a whole. It's one of my favorite. I love it. I saw a clip of it the other day and I was like, oh, it's time to watch it. And it's just that scene. So
yeah, I can see. It's one of those scenes that I can always imagine. Same as like if you're watching. I mean, I don't watch many films with like my mum and dad as much, but when I was younger, and if like a sex scene came on or something, and you feel very uncomfortable. I mean, maybe they shouldn't watch porn in front of me. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe.
I mean, your parents they're cute as heck. So.
But then it's also when you start talking about that kind of stuff with like my kids there, and they're going, "Oh, Dad, shut up! No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know."
Yeah, no, nobody wants to know that. It's funny when we watch TV and there's a sexy scene on, Todd will just put his hand over my eyes, like, okay.
But you go, "No, I want to watch. I want to see."
I know.
Yeah, everybody likes to see a little bit of that. Everybody. Okay, right. My number 9. Now, this is from a movie that I can remember. It was Neil and I. We were at the Star Wars celebration in London, and we went to see this movie one of the night times, and it's the Ghostbusters from 2016. I think it was the Ladies Ghostbusters, and It's not a great movie. I didn't think it was a great movie at all. And there's one scene where I could never remember her name. Kate McKinnon is doing this dance thing behind this desk, and it is just so cringy. It is just like one of those kind of dance montages that I didn't like it when I saw it, and I watched it again just to confirm that it's as bad to me as I thought it was. And it is just, and it cuts back to, why am I terrible with names? Who was the main woman in? Oh, Jesus.
McCarthy? What is her first name? McCarthy is her last name.
Yeah,
Stella.
not
Not Stella. That's the design. Jesus, she's Jenny McCarthy's cousin.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to look because
Melissa.
it's not actually she is in it as well, yeah, but it's not her I was talking about. It was Kirsten Wiig.
Okay.
So Kate
Side
McKinnon's
fact,
doing.
I don't like her.
Yeah, Kate
I
McKinnon's
don't like
doing all
her.
this stupid dancing, and then it cuts to Kristen Wiig reacting to her. But you can tell that like they've just said, okay, do these funny sort of faces to react to, and it's just horrible and cringy, and it kind of just summed the whole movie up. And I hate it. So it's number 9 for me. I feel this is going to be a very negative kind of episode, isn't it?
We'll uplift it at the end.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it means, but yeah, we'll get happy at the end.
Well, I'm
Jesus.
I'm going to ding my ding a lot today, I think. Okay, you're number 8 then, please, Anna.
My number 8 is just an actor who there are movies that I love with him. His character's necessary and I get it. But every other thing I watch with him, why are you here? What are you doing? And I'm gonna get a lot of trash for this, but it's Jack Black.
Okay, no, I can see that. So
I loved him in High Fidelity.
Okay.
High Fidelity with John Cusack and the record store and all that stuff. Fantastic. He played that annoying part so well. But for me, and I don't know the guy, he's probably wonderful. I avoid his shit.
Really? So all the Tenacious D stuff, do you like that, or you?
Never really got into Tenacious D. I guess I like Kyle. I think the interviews and stuff I've seen, like, you're a cool dude. But you know that kid in class who was always obnoxious and probably needed ADD medication? Nothing against the ADHD people. Like, God love you. But Jack Black is just not for me.
Jack Black's kind of the guy, especially when he's in full Jack Black mode, that I don't think you could watch a marathon of his movies. Because I think it's a little bit like Ryan Reynolds. You know, you can watch him in a couple of hour stints, but when you watch, like I watched the new Deadpool movie, I watched number 1 and number 2 like back to back, and it was too much Ryan Reynolds shtick.
Oh,
you know, it becomes that kind of thing. And I think Jack Black's that same thing. He's got that same kind of manic shtick, and I think I totally get that. I totally get that. So, Jack, if you're listening, we apologise, but
we're sorry. I'm sure you're a hell of a guy.
Yeah, sort your shit out. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 8. This is not necessarily a thing; it's more of a sound. But I'm going for Jaws, and I'm going for Quint running his fingernails down the chalkboard to get everyone's attention when they're talking about how they're going to get rid of the shark. Now, that is just a natural general sound that everybody hates, and I love the reactions of people in that room when he's doing it. They're all holding their ears and just squinting through their eyes because it's one of the worst sounds in the world ever created.
But Jaws is so good. It's so bad, but it's so good
and so rewatchable as well. I only watched it about a week ago, and it's just there's something fresh about that movie every single time I watch it, and agree. It's one of those, and please never try and remake it. You know, because the beauty of it was that Bruce the shark never worked, so you never see him properly until the very end, and then when he's at the very end, you see it's like a rubber shark. But it's such a good movie, and well, one of the greatest. It was in my top 10 of greatest movies of all time. Did you ever watch any of the sequels?
Oh yeah, Mike and I were huge Jaws fans. I even have a in his old office. There's a big poster of like the movie poster
Yeah.
of Jaws. So yeah, definitely, and just all of it.
Mm.
My memory just goes back to the scene where the mother of the child that was attacked, that when she slaps
Yeah.
um
Roy
I
Scheider.
can't
Yeah.
remember his name, Roy, yeah.
Yeah.
When she slaps him, it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
you tell me you should have killed him. And
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
that in my head, that's what I'm saying. Like, you should have got that shark earlier, but then that damn politician.
Oh.
So
Oh.
we're
Politicians,
not
especially
going to talk
today.
about
Yeah.
them
No, we're not
today.
going to talk about them today. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's just it's one of those perfect movies for me. It's got everything. It's got some great comedic moments, great
Yeah.
drama, horrific, like horrific scenes. My cousin nearly poked my eye out once when the moment when that guy's head pokes out. We were both watching it, and we both dove under this big cushion. And just as I did that, she sort of lifted her finger up, and it went straight in my eye and scratched my cornea or whatever it is in my eye. It was,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, so my eye always tingles whenever I see that moment. It's sort of like muscle memory. It just reminds me of that moment. It's horrible. Oh dear. Anyway, that was my number 8. So your number 7, please, Anna.
So my number 7 is just a line. And there could be many to go with that in these little clips, but let's do this. With like when they're all getting a lot of that was like what was that? Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
That kind of testosterone driven. Let's do this. Like, oh, shut the like,
Don't you feel
show your
that
tits and get the job done.
they're like specifically put in the movie for the trailer? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's a little thing that I mean, the Deadpool Wolverine, when Wolverine's going, let's fucking go, and you think it's just a thing that they can stick in because that's a great cool thing, but nobody in real life says those kind of things.
Yeah. I try never there's phrases that I try never to use because I think they're just stupid. And let's do this is it's even if it's something I need to say, let's do this. I'll figure out different words to use. Thank you. I'm not going to say it.
I got to try and work in how many times I can say it before the end of the episode now. Can I just see? But you're right, you're absolutely right. That was Fast and Furious, you said, but I mean that's another one of those tropes, one of those little cool lines that people will say, and yeah, that's a good one. Okay, my number 7. Let's do this. So this is another one of those cringy ones. And normally when you get like a horrific scene in a movie, it'll be a jump scare or it'll be something that will be like totally out of the unexpected. You know, it's something that you're not quite expecting. This was from the movie A Quiet Place. Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the scene when Emily Blunt is walking down the cellar steps, and you can see that there is a nail there, and you know that she is going to step on it, and so you know it's coming, and the fact that her foot goes so deep onto the nail, look, you're cringing. It is just, even, I mean, I've seen that movie probably 5 or 6 times now, so I know it's going to happen, and even then, you know, it's just every muscle tenses, you know, and every sinew of your body tenses because she can't make a noise. Because if she makes a noise, she dies. But the pain, anybody that has caught their little toe on a corner of a box or something knows the pain of that. So to have, it just makes my mouth go dry, and it's just one of those horrible things because everybody can relate to that kind of pain.
Well, when I was in high school, we used to take a shortcut and we had to jump a wall. My sister, who was 3 years older than me, jumped a wall and landed on a board that had a nail straight up. She ended up getting lead poisoning.
Oh my God.
And yeah, so my dad had to massage her leg every night because there was the white line that went all the way back down. It's like blood poisoning because of the lead is what it was. Yeah, it is. You don't want to ever hit a dirty nail. And it was an old rusty nail. Like,
oh my God.
So.
I mean, again, it's bad enough getting damaged by a nail, but an old rust. I mean, is there ever a good nail to get damaged by? I don't think there is, but, but an old rusty nail. That's
I saw old Rusty Nail play at the Troop.
Oh dear. Ah, they're all coming out tonight. That's what I love. That's what I love. Okay, so that was my number 7. On to your number 6 then, please, Anna.
Okay, just messed up my phone. So any scene in a movie where they're hacking, like I've got to get into blah blah blah, and then they say I'm in, and then they're in. It's like, bro, you just hacked through the fucking Pentagon in 40 seconds and
Yeah.
sometimes 15 seconds, and it's like, no.
Yeah, I agree. Or if they've got to try and find someone's password,
Yeah.
they always
Got it. Like,
yeah,
no.
they'll have a couple of goes and they don't get it, and it'll go beep. Oh no! And then somebody behind them will go, well, what about such and such? Or they have some kind of brainwave. We're in. Oh, fuck off! No way.
Yeah. I can't even remember my password to Amazon sometimes, and it might take me 10 times in a retrieval. So no, you didn't.
No, and I think a lot of the times the hacking scenes that I always think that's ridiculous is when the internet first was about. You know, it's from like 20 years ago, because they didn't, you know, nobody knew what the internet could do, so they could just say, yeah, we'll just tap in a few keys, and oh yeah, we're in, we can do it. You know,
Go back even further. Think about, I think it's War Games with
War Games. Yeah.
With Matthew Broderick, right?
That's right.
And
yeah.
his telephone that he had a dial-up connection. And he ran, millions of lines of passwords to break into the Pentagon. Like, sweet, you taught us what computers can do, but no.
Yeah, this is it, kids. What you got to remember is we used to, I mean, I don't know what it was like in your country, but in our country, you had to wait till like 6 o'clock in the evenings, because it was a cheaper time to go online, because you'd have to wait and be off peak and on peak, and oh my God, instead of now when it's just all everywhere. You kids, you got no idea how lucky you are.
The struggles.
And it used to, I mean, the worst thing was it used to take you like 2 hours to download like 20 seconds of porn. It was ridiculous. It really was. I mean,
music, and then Napster came along. No, straight to the porn.
It was the fact that like the screen like would be like strips of like picture. So it'd be like
that's a boob.
Yeah, you get to a third of the screen and you think, I think that's a nipple. It might not be. It might be someone's nose. I'm not quite sure. So you'd wait. You'd have to. I mean, it was like 2 hours for 20 seconds of footage. I mean, you don't know how lucky you are.
The struggle was real.
The struggle was real. You know, kids, you got no idea. You got no idea. Okay, that's a great one, though. Well done. Okay, my number 6. Now, this is one of the ones that's probably one of the most memed moments on a movie, and it's Spider-Man 3 and the Peter Parker emo dance. So he's been infected. He has venom inside him. And he's decided to.
Venom's kind of cute, so
he's decided to be. He's become a bit more badder. He's a badder Peter Parker. He's not as nice, and he walks down the street with this strut, and he decides to dance in this little club with Mary Jane, and it's just. It was everything that was wrong with Spider-Man 3. That was the trouble, and it kind of ruined them. Too many things going on in Spider-Man 3. But the emo dance is something that you see, like the memes are everywhere, even now. It's still now, where he's got his floppy hair and all that kind of stuff. I don't know whether you're a fan of Spider-Man or.
I am. I was trying to think which Mary Jane was that.
So that was Kirsten Dunst. Yeah, that was. Oh God, who played Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
So the original, the Sam Raimi one. I think the trouble with that is he tried to do so much in it, and I know it said in the facts that he wanted to have Spider-Man 4 to be able to sort of right all the stuff that you got wrong in Spider-Man 3, but I mean it was just in the end just way too much stuff going on, and Emo Spidey just didn't work. Not good at all. Okay, we're halfway through.
Too
So
fast.
it's time. It's time for. Oh. It's time for this.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
It is, although that's not as loud as it should be. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Okay, I find it really hard to work out what to do for a quiz on this one. So what I've done, as I've done with a couple of other episodes, I've taken the tagline of the poster of certain movies that have got bits in it, or maybe movies that are classed as a bit cringy. Okay, this might be easy. This might be really, really hard. So I'll go easy on you, Anna. Okay. Okay. So here's number one. I'll give you a clue. We've already spoken about this movie. Okay. So here we go. The greatest battle lies within. And we've already spoken about this movie.
We've spoken about a lot of movies.
That is true. That is true. The greatest battle lies within.
Deadpool? I don't know.
It was Spider-Man 3. It was Spider-Man.
I said I was going to say that, and then I was like, oh, he wouldn't give me that with just talking about this.
I'm sorry. Yes, it was, unfortunately. Okay, number two. When you can live forever, what do you live for?
It's very profound.
Mm-hmm. Now think about it. Who lives forever? What kind of people live forever?
Zombies?
Okay.
Vampires?
Mm-hmm. So think about a movie that might be cringy with vampires.
Well, like the original Tom Cruise and Lestat, and I can't remember the name of the movie, but it had Kirsten Dunst in it. And
It did. It's not that one, though. Just to give you a clue. Come on, I'm giving you another chance here. Come on, you can do it. Think of the cringe.
I'm not big on the vampires.
There'll be somebody listening to this.
Was Blade a vampire movie?
Blade was a vampire
With Wesley
movie.
Snipes?
Blade was.
Okay, well, obviously not it. So put me out of my misery, please.
It was Twilight.
See, I'm not a teenage angst love affair emo girl.
That's true.
I was too old for that when it came out. Although my sister read all the books, and I was like,
really?
Read?
There you go. There you go. Okay, number three. Trapped in a world he never made. Trapped in a world he never made. Now, I'll let you know, this movie was classed as one of the worst movies ever made.
Blazing Saddles?
How is that? That's not one of the worst. That's one of the best movies ever made.
I thought that was classified as one of the worst movies ever made.
What, Blazing Saddles? No.
I know, and I think it's hilarious, but just from like hearing
Okay, well,
Bonsai? I don't know.
No. This one, well, I'll give you that. It's Howard the Duck.
Oh, when you talked about Howard the Duck, I was like, I wonder if he even knows it was like the worst. Like it was so bad over here. And now it might be a little cult classic-y.
I think it is.
Watch it now and it's like
I've never seen it all the way through. And I watched the opening.
Howard's the Duck.
Yeah, I watched the opening 10 minutes of it on YouTube and I thought, this is batshit crazy, this movie.
Yeah.
This is totally...
And I think that came out when I was in high school. So yeah, that was like, and everyone was going to see it and it was just bad.
Yeah. Okay, number 4. Truth, beauty, freedom, love. Now, where I got these, I was very surprised to see this movie was in a movie, like a list of cringy movies. I was really surprised. I love this movie. It's a musical. Truth, beauty, freedom, love.
Rent?
It's not Rent. It's actually Moulin Rouge.
Oh, never saw it.
Oh, it's great. If you're not a musical fan, Did you say?
Was that the Christina Aguilera movie, or did she just do the music?
She just did the music. It's Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman. It is really good. Baz Luhrmann directed it.
Yeah,
He did the Elvis movie.
So I love McGregor, but I don't think I would have been able to see him in that role.
Right.
So.
It is good. I must admit, give it a try. Okay, number 5. 3% body fat, 1% brain activity. So it's a comedy. If I said the words blue steel to you, what would
Zoolander.
it? Yay!
I got one.
She's on the board. She's on the board. Okay. Number 6. We don't need no education. Now it stars one of your favourite people, as you've spoken about in your top 10. I'm being ironic when I say that.
The rock and roll high school thing, the high school rock, or I can't. Clearly, I'm not interested in it.
No, you've nearly got it.
I know. And I just saw something when I was reading, and it was School of Rock.
Well done.
2.
2.
She's got 2.
2. Okay, number 7. She makes dinner. She does windows. She reads bedtime stories. She's a blessing in disguise. In disguise.
Robin Williams.
And what's the name of the movie?
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Bing! She's on for this. Girl is on fire. Well done. That's the last 3. You got all 3 of them so far. Okay, number 8. Trust me. Trust me.
I feel like there's a hand being put out over a ledge and someone trying to grab the other person up. Trust me. No. Trust me. Nope.
Nope. It's
Breaking my streak.
Liar, Liar. Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah.
Okay, number 9. Right, bear with me on this one. Everybody has a secret. Duke wants Olivia, who likes Sebastian, who is really Viola, whose brother is dating Monique, so she hates Oliver, who's with Duke, to make Sebastian jealous, who is really Viola, who's crushing on Duke, who thinks she's a guy. That was all on the poster, by the way, just to let you know.
Is that when that the young girl goes to school as a boy and
it's called
oh
come on, you're so close.
I know. She's got it's she something.
You're right. It is she's
all that? No.
No. She's what is she trying to be?
Girl, a boy.
Another word for boy. She's
guy, dude. First letter, sound it out. Smells like herself. She's all that. She's a tad. She's all what you did a T?
As the second word T starts with a T. She's
that girl? That boy?
You're so
Jesus.
close. I can't give it. I'm gonna have to let you go. She's the man.
Ah.
She's the man. And the final one. Can 2 friends sleep with each other and still be friends in the morning?
Gee, I wouldn't know.
No, this isn't a question I'm asking you, Anna. This is a question that's in the quiz.
Is it Friends with Benefits?
It's not. It's When Harry Met Sally. But still, you got 3. Oh, that's a bit louder.
They didn't remain just friends. They got together.
Yeah, I know.
In
but
the end, he said, "When you realize what you want the rest. When you realize what you want the rest of your life to be, you want the rest of your life to start right away, or something like that." I'm paraphrasing, horribly wrecking it, but that's the best scene in the movie.
Indeed. But maybe they didn't want to give they didn't want to spoil the movie. They just want to ask that question. Because I think that's the question that they ask in the movie, isn't it? Isn't that what Meg Ryan says to Billy Crystal at the start? Can they really be friends? He goes, no, they usually want to nail them too. Yeah, it's a great. I do like that movie. I haven't seen it for a long time, so I don't know how it holds up, like time wise. I don't know. Carrie Fisher, I forgot Carrie Fisher's in that.
Oh yeah, Carrie Fisher for sure. I like that other one that Meg did with Tom Hanks.
Oh, what?
For-
You've got mail. That one.
yes. I
I've never
love
seen
that one at the end when spoiler alert when she said I wanted it to be you.
Ah,
So
yeah,
it was cute.
you spoiled it for me now. But there you go. It doesn't matter.
Oh, stop it. You've seen that.
I've never seen it. I've honestly, I've never seen that. I've never seen Sleepless in Seattle. What's the other one?
You have an issue with Meg?
No, not really.
Then why haven't you seen two of her movies?
I don't know. Was she in One Fine Day with George Clooney? No, that was Michelle Pfeiffer, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's Michelle Pfeiffer.
No, we're getting off the getting off the thing. This isn't supposed to be a Meg Ryan bashing episode at all.
No, I like her, you know.
Yeah, I must admit I don't. I think what other big movies has she had? Yeah, I haven't watched many of hers. I must admit. That's probably the biggest one is When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
But anyway. Okay, Anna, your number 5, please.
My number 5 is a line, and
Okay.
it's just very testosterone driven. I was born for this. So very Vin Diesel, you know. And not to bash on Fast and the Furious. I love that franchise. I really do. I've seen all of them. And but it's like a guilty pleasure thing.
Yeah. It's another very very male kind of testosterone driven.
Why not like men?
Eh?
It's all coming to me now.
But it's a very like not necessarily a superhero, but a very hero-y thing to say, isn't it? It's another one of those tropes that you. I was going to say John McClane, but he's not really like that, is he? Because he's a bit of a guy that shouldn't be where he is kind of hero. But you got your Rambo kind of people that are.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say hero. I kind of think arrogant prick.
Exactly.
Because, you know, it's like, oh, I was born for this. Shut up.
Yeah.
Do the dishes. So.
Oh, dear me. See? And if anyone else told me that they punched a guy, I would say, no, you didn't. But because it's you, Anna, you know? I mean, I'm so glad I've met you twice this year. I'm so glad that we were friends. Because I wouldn't want to meet you as an enemy, that's for sure. That is so for sure.
Oh, come on. I'm nice.
You are nice. You're lovely. You're absolutely lovely. So, and of course I'm going to tell you that because I don't want to get smacked in the face. Okay, that's another good one. My number 5, I'm going for one of these ones where you watch it with your face all screwed up. Have you ever seen the movie Old Boy? It's a South Korean, I think it's a South Korean movie. It's got this very famous scene where the hero, if you want, of the movie eats a live squid. And there was no special effects at all. He ate a live squid. And it's the fact that he's munching on this little live squid, and as it's going in his mouth, the tentacles are just like sticking on the side of his face as he's chewing this thing. That the movie is fantastic. I've spoken about it before on this podcast. It's one of the only movies that when I watched it, I was watching it at my dining table on my iPad, because Neil had gone on for ages. You've got to watch Old Boy. I went, okay, I'll watch it. And I watched it before I went to work when I was working for another job and I had a late shift. And it's the only movie I can remember where there's a certain moment in the movie and it made me stand up and go, oh my God. Because something happened in them. I won't spoil it for anybody. You have to watch it. And I've never had that sort of like that reaction to a movie before. And even it's subtitled, so you've got to do extra double work because you've got to read one. And when that moment happens, I've never stood up at a movie and gone, oh my God, before. I was so enthralled by it. But this scene is just one of those scenes where you watch it and go, it must be special effect. They must have CGI'd it. But no, apparently he grabbed it out of this tank and started munching at it in this restaurant. And it's the sound as well. It doesn't crunch. It kind of has this slimy, sickly sort of. Had to be in my top
Definitely
10.
not having sushi today.
But at least the sushi's dead, isn't it? I'm assuming. I've never had sushi, so I don't. I'm assuming. Yeah, don't.
When I see you again, or will you not eat it? We try it.
I've always said I would try things. I always try things once. You know. So what we need to do next time we get together, Anna, is we need to have some sushi, get high, and listen to Pink Floyd. That was the one thing.
Yeah, we do have a checklist.
We never got to do that when we met the two times this year, because that was the one thing that you said. Yeah, I'm going to get you high and you can listen to Pink Floyd, and we never got to.
Well, maybe I'll have to come over there for that and have Neil join us.
Yes, because he'll at least appreciate the Pink Floyd. You know, but yeah. So I mean, I don't know. So because you can have. I'm a real novice, obviously, when it comes to things like what was it? What was the food we were talking about?
Squid sushi.
Sushi.
Yeah,
that's just fish, isn't it? Isn't it fish and rice or something? Or
it could, yeah, and if you eat crustaceans, there's a lot of shrimp in it. My favorite is unagi, which is eel. So
right.
it's good. I've had octopus before that they call taco, which is very confusing when you see it on a menu. I'm like, I want a taco, and yeah, you have to be adventurous, but there's also beginner stuff that like the avocado rolls and the California rolls are like what, people who aren't too into it could eat. And then also, oh God, what did they do? Like the katsu, which is like fried chicken or fried pork, which is nice with all of that. So,
okay.
Yeah, but I like the sushi.
That's the date then. Next time, that's the date. We go on a sushi pot Pink Floyd date.
Yeah, it have to be like LA or Florida again, because I don't get too much good sushi in landlocked Colorado. So.
Right, of course. Yes. Yeah, well, of course, that's what it'll be. That's where we'll go. So that was your number 5. No. Mm-hmm. No, that was my number 5. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, boy. So your number 4 then, please, Anna.
I had to make a last minute change, and I'm going to throw the old lady under the bus that I talked about earlier, and I said I wasn't going to name her. Sigourney Weaver.
Oh. Okay.
I know.
What, in anything or just in Alien?
Well, I think the first that turned me off was her in Working Girl.
Okay.
Don't come messing with Melanie Griffith and try to steal Harrison Ford away and be like, oh, but Muffy. No.
She was horrible.
You are not the woman for him.
Yeah.
But she kind of carried on that persona in all of her roles, like this very elite kind of, if that's her, great. If that's not her in real life, then I'm a dick. But it just, even now, this movie, I'm like, Sigourney Weaver's in it. I know. And so it's a sacrifice for me. It's like, okay, we'll watch it. So
it's fun. It's funny.
And I like the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
I enjoy those movies like a lot, but now that she's not in them, they're great.
Yeah. I do find that there's, I mean, because I'm a massive Harrison Ford fan, and Working Girl's a great movie. But there are some movies when you have characters like Sigourney Weaver's character in that it can stop you watching the movie because they're so horrible. But in the back of my mind, I keep thinking to myself, right, okay, she's going to get a comeuppance. So no matter how much of a bitch she is all the way through it, I keep reminding myself, don't worry, because you get enthralled in the movie and you know that she's being horrible. And Melanie Griffiths is really cute in that.
Yeah.
And hoovering topless. I mean, what's.
Yeah, and I'm sure she'd be the kind of girl to punch a guy.
Absolutely.
So, especially in that movie.
Absolutely.
But,
I mean, she nearly...
And if Sigourney Weaver...
Sigourney Weaver! Hey!
That's my drag name.
Sigourney Weaver!
If she was paid to play a horrible person, she excelled at it.
There you go.
She really did.
There you go.
She's a fantastic actress.
She is. I don't know what Sigourney Weaver's like, but Sigourney Weaver is a fantastic actress. That has to be a t-shirt. I love Sigourney Weaver. You're never going to live that down now. Never going to live that down.
You're not.
Oh dear, that was a great one. Well done, Anna.
Your number 4.
My number 4. So this was one that I actually put in right at the last minute. Okay, because this wasn't in my top 10, and then I happened to see some footage about something else about this movie. This is my Star Wars one from The Last Jedi, and it's Princess Leia as Mary Poppins. Now, I don't know if you've seen The Last Jedi, so episode 8, which was done by Rian Johnson. Everyone knows, everyone can see by my room I love Star Wars, but The Last Jedi seemed to be the moment that divided Star Wars fans, and it's never revived from that. There are two sides of Star Wars fans now, and it's very, very horrible and can just get nasty online. But this is the moment when Princess Leia's ship gets blown up and she gets thrown into space, and what would have been the best thing to do was, because she died, I think, during the making or just after the making or the filming of The Last Jedi, that should have been it, that she died there. But they didn't do that. They had it that she woke up in space and then she used the Force to fly through space to get to the other ship. It looks as ridiculous as it sounds, Anna. And the thing is, she does end up looking like Mary Poppins flying with her umbrella. And it just doesn't make any sense, because she's in the vacuum of space for a start. Why her head and her eyes don't just bulge and her head explodes, I don't know. And it became just ridiculous. And she's
fucking Princess Leia. Pay her some respect.
I know.
Don't make her look like Mary Poppins.
Exactly.
No, and I'm not saying that to you.
No.
To the film season.
Yeah.
Just.
Now, I know that they're probably saying, well, no, she's using the Force, and it's the first time we've seen her use the Force. But we've never seen her practice the Force. It's not like she always has these things when Han Solo dies in Force Awakens. She kind of collapses because she can feel it but it was just, and The Last Jedi is a good movie. It's okay. It's not fantastic, but it really was one of those moments that you think, you cringe. That's the word for it. Every time I see it, I think, oh, it's just not right. It just doesn't look right. It's not right at all. So it had to be in there, and it had to be up high as well. So it's my number 4. Anna, your number 3, please.
My number 3 is, so this type of scenario, and it's usually happening early on in a movie when a character is introduced, happens often in Mark Wahlberg movies. Now, Mark Wahlberg is my secret pleasure kind of thing. Like, I'll indulge his movies just because I don't know what it is. It's something about hearing him talk. It's so stupid. But they run down the resume. Like, he's called in to the office. We just watched a Mark Wahlberg movie the other day, and Lord, I can't remember the name at all. But he was a police officer. He got caught on camera for shooting somebody that looked kind of like it was a setup. Like, they set him up to get him fired. So he goes and gets this other job where he's not a cop, but he's like a PI because he can't get that kind of work anymore. And they're like, oh, well, this is such and such. And he's, ex-martial artist, ex-military, ex-blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why do they give these resume rundowns instead of just putting it into the movie and building up the character? Like,
is it like that
30 seconds of a resume? Like, no.
That kind of exposition dump where they've got to get all this information out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's another one of those. It's one of those Trump. Why did I say that word? Jesus Christ! Yeah, it's one of those tropes.
Don't say it 3 times, or it already.
It'll be in the corner of the shed.
Hey, that'd be a better place for him then.
Yeah. I'll chuck a dog chew at him. Anyway, it's one of those tropes that every movie has to have. I was listening to a screenwriting podcast yesterday, actually, and they were talking about the fact that every screenwriter, when they're writing a script, tries to work out a different way of getting all this information out to the audience. And in the end, they know that they have to have this one character that has to have 30 seconds of going blah, 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 blah. And it just gets all that information out in one go. And that's kind of what you're talking about. It's that having to run down that list of this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And it's
I think boring. In Maverick, too, Top Gun Maverick, I think they did that. I think John Hamm did that with Tom Cruise, if I'm not mistaken. But it was like a rundown of his BS. It's like,
Yes.
whatever. We know he's Top Gun.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, and we also know that he's a hero, and we know that he's going to be okay, and we know that he's going to save the day at the end of it, and he's Tom Cruise. But you're absolutely right. That's one thing that pisses me off. I wish I'd put something like that on mine anyway, but I haven't. Okay, my number 3. Now, this is not just specifically for this movie, although it is this what ruined this movie for me. If you get any movie where they're a musical movie, if you like, where they're in a studio, and the movie I'm specifically talking about is Bohemian Rhapsody, and when they have the scenes where they're filming them recording, I hate those scenes because it's never like that in real life, and they're always going, yeah, that's really good, and yeah, oh, fuck off. No, it isn't like that at all. Or when they're, you've seen Bohemian Rhapsody, I assume.
Yeah.
I really liked the movie the first time I saw it, especially that whole Live Aid bit at the end. You know, I was there watching the original Live Aid, not actually there, but like watching it on TV on the day.
Yeah.
I was 16, and it was
We all were. Well, I probably was old. No, I was younger than 16. Yeah.
It was one of the greatest days because it was just music from midday. I think it went on to like 2, 3 in the morning because it went on to Philadelphia, didn't it? And it was great. And Queen were like they were fantastic. It was a great 25 minutes or whatever they did. And the way that they recreated it in Bohemian Rhapsody was amazing. It was so right down to the cups on the piano and stuff like that. But the way that I would have loved, put it this way, I would have loved to have seen Sacha Baron Cohen playing Freddie Mercury, who was originally supposed to do it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was originally signed up, and because they were gonna go through Freddie's life, but like warts and all. It was going to be, you know. And then when the other members of Queen, Brian May and Roger Taylor mainly, said no, we're going to make it more about the band, and they sort of they just made it a bit less risque, if you like. And then Sacha Baron Cohen said, no, I'm not interested in doing that. And then the other guy.
Well, good for him. He wanted something raw and truthful, and you know, that I would love to see that maybe in a documentary or something. You know.
Yeah, I know
he's such an interesting person.
They touched on it, didn't they, with the wild parties that Freddie Mercury had.
Yeah.
But the kind of, I mean, it's like it's with any movie where it's about famous people or real events. They change certain things. You know, look at Braveheart. I mean, a lot of these kind of movies, they Hollywood it up and they make it.
Yeah,
so
they have to.
They have to. But it's kind of like there's certain parts of Bohemian Rhapsody that like never happened. You know, Freddie Mercury didn't have a bad voice before the Live Aid gig. You know, and there's none of that kind of stuff happened. But for drama, they put it in there, and that kind of thing pisses me off. But anytime there's some kind of studio thing, it just always looks so just not real, you know? And I know they can't. They've got to make it dramatic, and they've got to make it cinematic, and, you know, it really grinds my gears. Whew, I'm feeling this is like weighing loads of stuff off my chest today.
Are we in a therapy session right now?
I think we are, which is probably the day for it, I think, Anna.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfectly honest.
For sure.
Okay, your number 2 then, please, Anna.
My number 2, I have given it a name. I've dubbed it the De Niro Pacino effect. So I know, and God knows I love them both, but it's kind of an old guy thing that I see happen often in gangster or cop movies. Like, we're going to do this my way, and I'm point person, and I'm blah, blah, blah. And De Niro does that in Heat, where he's like, I'm in control. This is my blah, blah, blah. And it's so, again, testosterone driven, but like, just cliche. And why do you have to, you know, call it out like that? Like, you have to be the boss and everything has to be under your control. It's not good for camaraderie.
Yeah, sorry. Fred, shush. Be quiet.
I can make a buddy if Fred wants a friend.
He hasn't made a noise all night, and now he's decided to wake up. Just be quiet. Okay, yeah, you're absolutely right. Again, though, it's those tropes that they need to have, especially for, I wasn't going to say buddy cop movies, but for those kind of gangster movies, if you like. It's that guy who's the boss and has to show that he's the boss.
Yeah.
You know, and you're absolutely right.
It happened on both sides. So in Heat, Pacino says it and De Niro says it. So
So when you watch those kind of movies, then when that happens, does that take you out of the movie? Do you like roll your eyes and go, "Oh God, not again," or do you're okay with it? Kind of let it go.
I don't stop watching it or anything. It's just kind of fluff that, just go like, oh yeah, whatever, old man. And because you don't see young guys saying that in, like, I don't know of any young gangster guys that would be in a movie, but you don't really hear people being that, I don't know, bold or whatever and stuff when they're younger. It's when they're older, they want to take control and do everything. But it's happened in movies for years, so
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
It becomes those tropes that just everybody just falls back on. I think it's sometimes it's lazy writing, if you like. It's just, I would stick that in there. You know, that's another couple of pages. That's fine. Listen to me, and I'm not.
You are not on the ding. You just said stick that in there.
Oh God. That's the beauty of you, Anna. Is that normally I'm on the ball with things like that but you're like my safety net underneath, catching up all the ones that I miss. So I appreciate you for that. Thank you. Okay, my number 2 was actually one that was in my what do you call it? Oh Christ, I don't know why I'm.
Sorry, I have to plug in.
That's fine. It was in my scenes. I don't know what I'm fucking trying to say. Oh God, it's been one of those days today. Jesus, I am sorry, everybody. In the facts, and it's Superman's CGI moustache in Justice League. Now, I don't know if you've seen this, Anna, but we went to the cinema to see this. The movie originally was directed by Zack Snyder, and then his daughter, unfortunately, I think committed suicide. So he moved away from the movie, and they brought Joss Whedon in, and he sort of changed things in the movie. And this was when Henry Cavill was filming the Mission Impossible movie, Had a Tash. Now, when you see pictures of it, it looks awful, but when you see it up on a cinema screen, I can remember the people that were in the movie in the cinema with me. Everybody just gasped at how awful it looks. It is some of the worst CGI you'll ever see. Just the top lip. It is ridiculous. And if you ever get a chance to see it, again, I'll put it in the playlist. Why anybody thought that was a good idea? Just give Superman a moustache. Then I'd rather have that than have this just ridiculous look on his face. It's just awful. So if anybody gets a chance to watch it, then just do. So, okay. So as everything is very wordy today, as everyone can tell. What we'll do, should we just go straight into our number ones rather than doing a countdown, or do you want to do a countdown?
No, I think we could do number 1.
Yeah. Let's do our number ones then, Anna. What is your number 1 cringiest moment in a movie scene?
Well, I think we have this one in common. Because it's any time there's a dance scene with women or girls twirling about and laughing. The first one that comes to mind is Practical Magic when they're going around the island and like, oh, I think it reduces women to something that I just don't like. Oh, just give them music and they'll dance. Nah, bitch. No. We're dealing with serious topics here. She's crying over a divorce. They don't have whatever they need, and just throw on some music and let's dance. Give me some weed. But yeah, no, I don't. It seems like every film that they call it chick flick, it's in there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, make sure we got the dancing scene in the chick flick. And I think it's productive. So
I completely agree with you. Although it's nice to see a lady dancing. But then I'm just
you can watch Showgirls if you want.
Oh,
we'll do sushi and Showgirls.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking. That would take longer than 2 hours to download in the old days. That would, I tell you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my Lord. But that's another good one. Yeah, you've come up with some really good tropes today that are like ones that are in You look at certain types of movie, and they're in every one of those kind of movies. And I don't think there's anything you can do to stop them being there. They're like for all time from the past and going on, especially in like rom-coms and like you say in chick flicks and stuff like that. Very good.
Well, I think I'll have to watch. We're not snowed in, but I'm not going anywhere today
Yeah.
because it's all snowy and I don't play that. I can't stand the snow. Like it's peaceful and it's beautiful and everything, but like give me sand.
Really?
So yeah, it's very calming, but it's a lot of work. You got to
Yeah.
go, get everything scooped and make sure you have gas for your snowblower, and it's just a pain in the butt.
Mm.
So I think Old Boy and Last Jedi might be.
Well, if you do watch Old Boy,
try to do
you have to message me and let me know what you think. So I would.
Well, you've got me on the hook with that,
Yeah.
Something happens and I'm like, he ate a live squid. Isn't that enough?
There's also an amazing corridor fight scene, which has been classed as one of the greatest fight scenes ever. But I won't say any more. Just watch it and please let me know what you think. That's what
I'll tell you too. One of my cringy, and I would never say anything bad about this man, but in Tusk, when Kevin Smith turned the guy into like the walrus.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that was and I love me some Kevin Smith.
Yeah. That was the movie that Neil and I went and saw when we went to LA for a week.
Oh yeah, when you met him.
We actually were. I think there was us two and one other guy in the theater, and he sat like two seats away from us. He had the whole theater to sit, and he sat like.
What's wrong with those people?
He looked like he was weird as well, and we thought, oh God, I mean. And we're watching a movie like Tusk, which is one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen in my life.
So good. I can't say that it was bad, again, because it was Kevin Smith, and my love for him will not allow me to say such blasphemous things.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those it's like a car accident. You can't turn away from it. You're
exactly.
like, what happens now?
I completely agree. And he's supposed to be working on a sequel to it as well. How? I don't know.
I liked Red. Did you like Red?
What Red State?
Was it Red? Yeah, Red State.
Yes,
yeah.
I really like that because it was nothing like anything he'd done before.
Well, and it had your Ralph Garman in it too.
Absolutely.
But Ralph Garman with his mouth, Ralph Garman who didn't talk.
Yes.
What the?
Yes.
Ralph Garman doesn't shut the fuck up. So
yeah, and John Goodman was in it as well. He was really good. But then Michael Parks, he was also in Tusk. I think Kevin Smith said it at the time as well, but how Michael Parks never got an Oscar nomination in Red State. He was just amazing in that movie, and it's such a good film. And again, you watch that, you would never know that it was Kevin Smith that wrote and directed that because it was completely different from everything that he'd done.
Can we get another date and do Kevin Smith best scenes?
We've already done that.
We haven't even touched Dogma.
Dogma? So. Oh, my God, yes. Dogma. We have actually done a Kevin Smith episode.
Have you?
Yes. I didn't realise you was a massive Kevin Smith fan. Oh, if I'd have known you could have come in and we could have done a three-way.
Yeah. He's You are so bad.
I know. Okay, my number one. Now this is something you laugh and you cringe at the same time. I'm going for Borat and his manager naked wrestling through a hotel and ending up at it looks like some business seminar, and they're wrestling absolutely naked, haven't got a stitch on, and his manager is not a small guy. His manager is a big guy, and they are basically 69 in each other, and it's just...
Was he wearing the yellow...
No. Not wearing anything. Not wearing a single thing. And the thing is, I mean, the one thing I love about Sacha Baron Cohen is that, and I'm not, no pun intended, but he is balls out. Do you know what I mean?
Totally. Like
he doesn't care. Whatever he needs to do to get a laugh and to make people around him look ridiculous or look stupid, he would do it, and he is focused on it. And the fact that they go into this business seminar on this, and they get on the stage and they're shouting and they've got nothing on. They're fighting with each other and there's bits flying everywhere, like bodily bits flying. It is ridiculous, but fair play to him. But I can remember watching that the first time but laughing so hard I couldn't breathe, but also looking through my fingers because it was just so cringy. But yeah, he's a comedy genius, is Sacha Baron Cohen. So
Yeah.
oh dear. Right, we've got a couple of honourable mentions. Bertha Barazza said all of Twilight. We've got some guy called Jeff Flores. I don't know who this is. Some reprobate somewhere.
Skip next. No,
Yeah,
just kidding.
he
Just
says
kidding.
there are so many to choose from. He said 1, Spider-Man 3, Peter Parker's emo dance scene in the streets, finger guns, dancing montage, and the music. Ew. Number 2, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Anakin awkwardly flirts with Padme by talking about his distaste for sand. Why is he flirting with her? He isn't only a child. Ew. Number 3, Catwoman, the basketball scene. Halle Berry plays basketball in a way that somehow is seductive, intense, and deeply cringy due to its weird camera angles, music, and editing angles. I'll have to look for that. You dumb scene. And 4, Batman and Robin, the back credit card scene. George Clooney whips out a back credit card and says, "Never leave the cave without it." Why? And he also says, "Hi, Anna. Love you, big sister. And Pav, miss you, brother." Ah, bless him.
Aw.
Bless his heart. Doug Simpson says, Legolas walking on air in Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies. And somehow Palpatine returned in Rise of Skywalker. That's a whole podcast all to itself. And Stu Grant says, the one that immediately springs to mind is the Martha moment in Batman versus Superman, though I can't think why. Yeah, that's got a lot to answer for as well. Anna, we did it. We did it.
Yes, we did.
We did it. I can't believe we actually got through that one, because that was, I say, that was one of the hardest ones I've had. And I know that there's plenty that I've missed out. I'll watch movies now and I'll think, shit, that should have been in my top 10. But
Yeah.
we got there. We got there.
That was fun.
So what have you got planned for the rest of the day? Just you're having a snow day? You're just like gonna...
Yeah, it's a snow day, and Todd had smoked pork butt a couple of days ago, so I have a big chunk of it left, and I was gonna make some pozole, some like it's Mexican soup with chunk up the pork and the hominy and like green sauce. It's pretty yummy, so I'll be cooking.
I haven't had tea
And I got a
yet,
new
so-
fridge yesterday, so I'm still
you?
getting it all. Yeah, my fridge took a crap on me, so I got a new plug here, Samsung fridge.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just, figuring out everything. So it's
Is it one of those all damn fangled ones where you can order your
No,
groceries and that on it? And
I started looking at all that stuff, and I was like, I'm not going to spend like 3,600 to 5,000 US on a fridge like that. This one I got for 1,800, but I was hell bent on getting craft ice, which like the ball of ice that you'd put like in a whiskey or something. And I don't know why, and I got all caught up in that. Didn't end up getting one. Just got it's nice, normal fridge. So I'm just happy. Haven't bought a new fridge for a long time. It's like getting a new car, especially
Wow.
for someone who likes to cook. So
indeed, absolutely nice
and
big.
the water
I
comes
suppose.
out so fast.
Does it?
And the ice. Yeah, makes me happy.
Lovely. Well, as long as you're happy, Anna, that's all that matters.
Thank you. Are you going to
That's
bed
all that
soon?
matters. I'm going to have a little bit of tea, and then me and Fred, we're gonna go up to bed and we're gonna snuggle, aren't we, Fred?
Here, I will double fist my tea just for you.
Wow, bless you. Well, Anna, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you so much for just being you. You're one of the most lovely
thank
people
you.
I know, and I can't believe that it's been 2 times I've actually got to meet you in person this year. And
You give the best hugs.
It's been every 4 months, so in theory, really, in December we should meet up again, because then that'll be every 4
We
months.
should continue this trend.
should
Come
just do
out
it.
for January when Emily stops from Australia. So
There we go. If I win the lottery, I always thought to myself, if I win the lottery, one of the first things I'm going to do is just come and knock on your door without you knowing. I'd have to find your address. I've got your address. I'm sure I've got your address.
got my address. I've
Yeah.
sent you plenty of cards.
Of course, yes, absolutely. So one day,
Thank
if
you
you get
for
a knock
having
on
me.
the door, but thank you, Anna, and obviously everybody else, listen out for Neil's talk with all that gubbins at the end of the episode, and for everybody else, thank you very much for watching and listening. Let's start the countdown.